Hey there, guys and gals. Melodic Symphony here, and we're going to be continuing with Anne's Pathway of Roommates. So let's get right to it. I'm, I'm at a halfway point of being tired, but also not tired at the same time.
Wow, I can't believe it's already Halloween. I've been so busy with classes I barely had time to even think about Halloween. Isabella told me about this party 2 weeks ago, but I hadn't even thought about it until a couple days ago. Hey Anne, are you ready yet? Come on, we gotta be there by 8. I can't do it. What? Come on, Anne, what's the problem? I just don't know if I can. How can I? What happened? I didn't get to the costume store until last night, and this is all they had left. I can't wear this. Isabella looks at the costume just hanging on a hook from my closet and laughs. Oh, honey, you have to wear that. I mean, you have to. No way, you can't ask me to do that. Come on, how are you going to break out of that shell if you never put yourself out there? Trust me, if you want an icebreaker, that costume will break the ice and their brains. They see you in that and they'll be putty in your hands. Ugh, I can't. Look, I don't have time to argue with you, hun. You should do it. Meanwhile, I'm going to call Chad and let him know I'm on my way. I'm out in 5 minutes, so don't be late, okay? Isabella leaves, dialing her cell phone. I can't believe I waited until the last minute to pick out an outfit. I don't know if I can stand being seen like this. And Isabella's teasing me already, saying I'll just have people being putty in my hands. Sheesh. I guess I might look okay in it. I just don't know. No. I'm sick of always being the shrinking violet. It's Halloween, the one night of the year you can be someone you're not, and I'm not going to miss this opportunity. Nobody's forcing me to go out. Going out on my own will is a good step. Of course I say that, but I still get dressed as quickly as possible before I have time to chicken out. Sorry. A few rushed moments later, and I'm standing in front of the house with Isabella. Hey. Oh, that looked exactly as good as I imagined it would. You definitely do that costume justice, girl. Stop, yours looks way better than mine. I got mine at the last minute. Oh no, hun, trust me. Tonight we won't be letting anything stop us. Between the two of us, I'll be surprised if they don't lock the house down trying to get with us. Oh, good? Very good. Now, if only the others would show up, we could get going. As called, I am here. Oh, you dog, you. No, wolf, Isabella. I am a wolf. It's a saying, Rakesh. God, your fur is so luxurious, Rakesh. Where'd you get that outfit? I don't think I should say. People look down on scavenging, yes? Yeah, you probably shouldn't tell us. What about Max? This is his kind of thing, right? Wow, I can't believe you're still in denial, Anne. That is very strange of you, Anne. Very disrespectful. What are you talking about? I mean, I know Max just died Friday in that accident downtown, but you should still know better. What? He didn't, I thought I saw him. I mean, he's still alive. Look, we're all devastated, Anne. That's no excuse for being rude. I'm trying to take you to a party for some fun. We need to get our minds off this tragedy. This is crazy. Max can't be dead. I just saw him on Thursday. I can see this won't be resolved until I help you move past this. Fine. As an undead creature of the night, I know a few things about the dead. Wait, you're a what? Hush now, Anne. Thank you, Rakesh. You slaughtered the goat earlier, right? Of course. Wait, you what? Oh, God, I'm terrible. I don't even know if this is genuine Latin. Actually, one moment, I'm going to look this up. Pause. So I looked it up, and I guess it's just gibberish. Like, I've looked everywhere, and no one can identify what language this is. So I even used, like, a website that's like, whatlanguageisthis.com. I don't know how good it is, but long story short, I think it's just gibberish. Pargradian! It is done. I hope you're happy with yourself, Anne. Happy with what? How can Max be dead? Well, I suppose he's not technically as dead anymore. What? Isn't that right, Max? And suddenly I feel arms around my waist. Brain.
And stop! Ah! Ah! It's bad!
Everyone's laughing at me as I punch Max in the stomach and stomp on his foot. Stop. Stop, it's fine. I know it's fine. You guys are terrible. I can't believe you. Is everyone else dead too? I'll put them back in the grave they came from. Bring it on.
Ah, so worth it.
This is it. Dominic's hanging back to hand out candy if anybody comes by. Sally's gone to hand out pamphlets on where to compost your pumpkins.
I've been having an awkward thing today where I keep sliding into an accent that I don't even have. And it's weird.
On where to compost your pumpkins. Girl knows how to party. Well, then let's get going. I can't believe they tried to play a trick on me like that. They're really starting to freak me out. I guess it's all in good fun. Together we make our way down to the party site, another house on campus. 10 minutes later, just in time, we're staring at an incredibly well-decorated house. Whoever did the decorating really went all out. The whole place is covered in cobwebs. I can even see some cutouts that look like ghosts in some of the windows.
Ah, welcome to you, our most esteemed guests of honor. I presume you are the inspectors we sent for?
Uh-huh.
You may call me Butler. We bring the constables to solve the ghastly murder in our quaint dormitory. I thought you were they. No? Well, please come in.
I look at the other roomies who all just appear to be just as confused as I am. I don't know why he's talking that way, but he enters through the front door and gestures for us to enter as well. I heard it was a theme party. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Wow, I've heard of murder mystery parties. This could be a lot of fun.
This way, please. Do mind the corpse.
Mind the...
And before Rakesh can even finish, we've all entered and they're staring at the bloody corpse in the middle of the hall. There are about 10 other people here with us. Some of the others are talking amongst themselves about the body. It's actually really well done. It looks very believable.
Poor Mr. Body. He owns this building. Well owned.
He donated a rather large sum to the college, apparently on behalf of a student he had a particular fondness for. Actually, it's rather odd, but he had been filling out these cards when he sent me out. They have your names on them. Well, Butler hands everyone in the room a card with their name on it. Ah, so that's why we had RSVP for this thing. I opened my card and inside it says, "You are Mr. Body's #1 salesperson. You are innocent, but the murderer is out there. At 7, you were refueling your vehicle."
Hey, what'd you guys get?
The others open theirs and peers at them for a moment. Please do not discuss the contents of your letter until the constables arrive. We wouldn't want anyone to tamper with the evidence. But while we wait, please avail yourselves of the amenities. There is a kitchen down the hall, the study is that way, and the sitting room is through that door. I expect there may be clues about, and I'm sure you'll discover something along the way.
So what's going on?
Looks like you're on the case, hot stuff. Time to figure out who murdered this poor sap.
Ah, the game is afoot, as it were.
It's elementary, my dear Rakesh. Oh, this would be so much fun.
Well, I think I know what I'd like to investigate. Down, dead boy.
It appears we must solve this dreadful crime.
Who doesn't love a good mystery? You are way too into this, hon.
This might be pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna go see what I can find in the study.
Butler, is there food in the kitchen?
Indubitably.
I shall take that as yes and go to feed myself.
I think I'm just going to get off my feet in the sitting room.
Oh, you're terrible, Max. I'm gonna go search the room for clues. Come find me in the kitchen. I will make something for both of us. Yes, I'll be along to confer with you all later. While we are making our plans, so is everyone else. Soon enough, the crowd disperses. Only the butler is left. So, Butler, any roles I should know?
Well, I shouldn't be breaking character, but everything you need to know is in the building, and I can tell you that I didn't do it.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, I'll be in character too. What exactly happened, Butler?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Feel free to look over the body for clues. I'll answer your questions as you like.
Perfect. I'll begin my investigations immediately. No evildoer will escape my trap. The only question now is where to start. Clearly there are 4 rooms to visit if I include the main hall here. There are probably clues in each of them, not to mention my friends. I guess I'll just have to figure out which one to visit first. Well, I guess time to investigate the main hall. After all, there is a body here to look into. I look around the room just to get my bearings. There are some stairs. That seems to be out of bounds for the game. The main entrance is here, too. The butler appears to have gone back outside to wait for the police. The body lies before me. Whoever did it did a really great job. It almost looks like a real person. Well, a real person who's had the back of their skull caved in. The body is wearing a very nice three-piece suit that's been treated very roughly. Whoever got to him must have had a fight on their hands. There are holes and tears all over. The man was clearly quite well-to-do. A gold watch peeks out from under one of his sleeves. I almost don't want to touch the body. The effects are so real. If you need to search for clues here, madam, feel free. Thank you, butler. Well, I guess that's as much of a push as I'm going to get. I take a look at the watch on his wrist, and it's definitely seen better times. The strap's nearly broken off, and the face is definitely broken. A little blood has gotten onto it, on the strap and on the knob on the side. The watch hands have stopped moving, stuck pointing at 7. I decided to go through the pockets of his jacket as well. After a few moments of rifling around, my hands grasp something. It appears to be a last will. Unfortunately, it's covered in blood and can't really make out what the terms are. Ugh, I can tell this isn't going to be signed. Oh, what I can tell is that it hasn't been signed. There's a note at the top indicating that the latest revisions have yet to be reviewed. There doesn't appear to be anything else of note on this body. Well, butler, I think it's time you told me what you know. Exactly what happened here. Very well. This is the sordid tale. I was here when the master returned from work at 6 in the evening. He was certainly planning on throwing a costume party tonight. All the invitations to you were sent off ages ago. At 6:55, the master noticed that we were all dreadfully short of port for the evening. He immediately sent me to acquire more for the night. Obviously, I don't really know what happened while I was gone. I arrived back from the shops at 7:30. I entered to find the hideous scene you see before you. I called the police, of course, but then all of you began to arrive and, well, you know where we got from there. Did you hear any strange noises when you were leaving? Any sign of a struggle? If we assume his watch broke at the time of the assault, it wasn't long after you left. No, I don't recall hearing anything unusual as I left. It was actually very quiet. And there was nobody here when you got back? No, I checked all the rooms and nobody was about. Are there any other entrances or exits? Well, there's a back entrance, but that was still locked when I checked it. All right. Well, thank you, butler. Of course, madam. Well, I think that's all I'm going to get out of this place for now. Well, certainly a good place to start. Question is, where next? Well, time to visit the study. I think Isabella came in here. I think this one is Isabella, but I'm not sure. I think Isabella came in here. One of the classrooms has been converted for the evening. It looks like there are people relaxing all over. Someone even put a few pipes on a coffee table between some of the chairs. They probably haven't been used since I'm pretty sure this is a no-smoking building. Isabella's sitting on one of the chairs, idly leafing through a book, and I don't know if she's reading or not, to be honest. Hey, Isabella! Oh, there you are, hon. Finally come to see what I was up to? I've been looking forward to seeing you. So, have you discovered any clues? I may know some things you don't. The real question here is, how are you going to get me to tell them to you? Oh, I have my ways of making you talk, Isabella. It's actually pretty fun playing the investigator. I always loved the femme fatale types. One moment, I'm gonna look that up. Ah, okay, it's femme fatale. I always loved the femme fatale types in the old crime novellas I read. Isabella, for her part, leans back in her chair, crossing her legs and steepling her fingers as she looks me over. Oh, do tell. I'm all ears. Well, I guess I could, interrogate you? Oh, does the little girl want to use a little force to come get what she wants? I do like a woman who knows what she wants. Isabella's teasing me again, but it does work well for a character like hers. I can't buckle now. That's right, Isabella. I do know what I want. I walk over to her chair, putting my hands on the armrests and leaning my face in close to hers. And what I want is for you to tell me what you know. Everything you know. Isabella smiles a sort of languid smile as she looks into my eyes. Well, since you asked so nicely. So, what's your story here, Isabella? Well, you know Mr. Body was my boss. We worked together for God's sake. I've been his secretary for 3 years now. Did you have any problems with your boss? Well, of course not. We got along famously. Everyone knows he was always hanging off my every word. And was there anything else going on between you two? I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? Well, come on, Isabella. It's the oldest story in the book, right? Beautiful secretary and the old Bashira's boss. Ah, so you do think I'm beautiful, eh? That's progress. I'm trying not to blush, and she's trying to throw me off the scent, which is proof that something's going on. I decided to try a different tactic. Well, of course I do, Isabella. You're damn pretty. How long did it take you to have him wrapped around your little finger? Oh, not long at all. Wait. Fine, yeah. We messed around a bit. It was nothing serious, just a little harmless fun. Ha! I knew it! And did his wife know about this harmless fun? Well, if it's harmless, she wouldn't really need to know about it, would she? Well, I figured, so were we around 7? Ugh, don't remind me. That was before we got here, right? You asked why Chad didn't come? Well, just ask the patrons at my cafe. They'll tell you why he didn't come. We had a huge fight when he told me he had to go bail someone out of jail. He left at 7, and I went home to prepare to come here with you. Well, how far is the cafe away from here? I don't know, about 15 minutes. Okay, one more question. Take a look at this for me. I hand the will over to Isabella, watching her reaction carefully. She unfurls the paper with a bit of disgust at the blood, but she seems angry for a moment, but it goes away quickly. He mentioned something about redoing his will. I don't think he knew which of his children he wanted to run his company when he finally kicked it. Roxanne was his smart girl, but Hillary, you know, Max's wife, was the eldest. He was going to get it originally. I think Hillary, but he didn't really talk about it that much with me. Well, thank you for your time, Isabella. No problem, Detective. Hope you figure out who did this and bring them to justice. Isabella winks at me and goes back to idly leafing through her book on her comfy chair. Well, there is clearly an affair happening between her and Body, but that's not necessarily evidence she did it. I'll have to investigate further. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of the other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation.
I hear Body's daughter married some worthless mooch who's bled her wallet dry. Ugh.
Well, once a mooch gets started, it's usually pretty hard to let go. Well, anyway, that's another room down. Only question now is, where to go next? I think it's time to visit the kitchen. Maybe I can catch up with Rakesh. I wander down the hall into what looks like a little break room. There's a refrigerator and a microwave in there. There's even one of those little electric grills plugged in. I see Rakesh applying peanut butter to some bread slices at the counter next to the refrigerator. Digging around inside the fridge, I see a girl I don't know. Let me know when you find the jelly, Roxanne. Yes, I'm looking. I don't know if I have any. How'd you even talk me into this anyways? Because I make an excellent sandwich. Hey, Rakesh. And welcome. I will get more bread. What is a kitchen without snacks, Who's your new friend? This is Roxanne. Apparently she was staying here in the building to sort out some of her affairs. Oh, and what would those affairs be, Miss Roxanne?
That unfortunate murder case in the Great Hall is my father.
He called me here under some pretense of having something to tell me. Apparently he was going to be something about his new lover. Honestly, if he weren't paying my way through college, I wouldn't have listened to anything the old bag had to say. Well, he was quite well-to-do, and how'd you fit into his plans? If you don't mind me asking, miss. Hopefully, I didn't fit into them at all. He was a terrible person, a womanizer, and a philanderer. Well, you still took his money to attend school, however. I mean, have you seen the interest rates on student loans? Sure, I did what I had to, but God, I hated the man. I hated him to his bones. I won't deny it. I've got nothing to hide. Roxanne slams a jar of jelly onto the counter next to Rakesh and storms out of the room. Rakesh finishes making the sandwich and hands me one. Well, Rakesh, what's your story? Did you know the man in there?
Yes, well, that's to my story.
I'm not sure if you ever saw me around the office. I was Mr. Buddy's bodyguard. He did not feel I was necessary when he was at his own office. Still, I saw you a time or two. He was your boss as well, eh? Did you two get along all right? Yes, he was a very strict boss. You didn't like him? Oh, that's not true at all. Well, maybe a little true. I was not fond of him, but one does not need to be fond of one's employer to remain employed, is that correct? Well, I suppose that's true, but
Surely you could have found somewhere else to work. Mr. Body was very persuasive. Oh, you don't sound like a loyal employee. Perish the thoughts. At any rate, I did not have anything to do with the double crime out there tonight. That is for certain. So where were you around 7 tonight?
What time was that? About an hour before we got here.
I was just finishing up with an art class. I was doing a bit of life modeling. Oh, I didn't know you did that. Well, art is a bit of a side passion of mine. We just both chuckle at that.
Mr. Body said that he wouldn't need me tonight, so I took the opportunity.
Well, just one last thing, Rakesh. Can you take a look at this for me? I hand the will to Rakesh, who opens it up and makes a face at the blood all over it. He had said something about needing to do something with his will. Apparently Roxanne had been quite a bit on his mind lately when thinking about the fate of his company. She's a very smart girl, actually, not like her older sister. Well, thank you, Rakesh. Make sure to find me if you think of anything else. Most definitely. Thank you, Anne. I think there's definitely more to Rakesh's relationship with Mr. Body than he's saying, but I'll have to figure it out as I go. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation.
Oh yeah, I totally heard his bodyguard wanted out of his job, but he couldn't get out of Body's thumb.
Well, there's definitely some dirt involved there. Well, anyway, that's another room down. Only question now is where to go next.
Yes.
Well, it looks just like our common room, but with a nicer TV. It even looks like someone brought in a small bar. Upon closer inspection, it looked like it's got all kinds of juices, but no alcohol. Which makes sense, this is a school property after all. I make myself a quick glass of juice and scan the people here. Max is sitting on one of the recliners next to the TV, watching some kind of sports highlight coverage. A few other people are sitting in various other parts of the room, but they all seem to be nattering about nothing. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen all those other people much. Most of them must have just come in here to discuss things. Looks like a bunch of them have juice glasses. Well, hello, Max. Hiding out in here, huh?
Well, maybe a little. I have my reasons.
Well, speaking of reasons, maybe we should talk about your story here. I'm so all over this case, Max, and I'm going to solve it. So out with it.
Alright. It's not like I have anything to hide, cutie.
Don't you cutie me. You're not going to distract me.
Yeah, look. Mr. Body has 2 daughters. His oldest daughter, Hillary, married me.
Shotgun wedding?
What? No.
Oh, please, like you're the marrying type, Max.
Hey, I could be. What if I found the right girl? Or 3.
Exactly. Anyway, according to my card, I married her, so shut up. Stay in character, Max. You were doing really well.
So you're really enjoying yourself, aren't you? You get into the sleuth stuff, don't you?
Oh yeah, I used to love all those pulp detective novels. Okay, back to you. Why'd you do it? Was it the money?
Hey, the money was just a nice perk. I don't think that makes me a bad person.
I take it Mr. Body was against it.
He wasn't exactly thrilled, but he didn't object. His daughter's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions.
So you didn't get along with Mr. Body?
Maybe not at first, but he gave me a job at his company, and heck, we've been fine ever since. I'm not his favorite person or anything, but we're not sniping at each other either.
So where were you at 7?
Well, Hillary asked me to make nice, so I don't leave the office until then every night. You can check with anyone at the office, they'll tell you.
So how are Hillary's finances these days?
She's doing fine.
Max looks away from me for a moment, watching the television screen. Okay, one last thing, Max. Can you take a look at this for me? I hand him the will. Max unfurls it, though he seems unfazed by the blood.
Was this on him?
Well, yes, it was. It doesn't look finished. You were his son-in-law. Do you know what he might have wanted to change?
No, he didn't talk to me about his personal business.
Max's eyes appeared to be misty for a moment before he looks away from me.
I can't believe he's finally coming around. I was never in the will, you know. Maybe he's finally going to include me.
You think that's what was going on?
Thanks, old man. Thanks.
Who's the beneficiary before now?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Can we talk later?
All right. I suppose that's enough for now. Thanks for your cooperation, Max.
No problem, sleuth. Good luck on this case. It's a tricky one.
He winks at me as I leave the room. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of the other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. Oh yeah, it was a real big blowout fight. Couldn't even get service at 7 in a cafe. Ugh, it was awful. Well, anyway, that's another room down. My question now is where to go next.
Okay, I'm curious, so I want to see if anything changes. Nothing's changing. I want to see if mainly a reason I'm doing this, I want to see if I get different text when I go back to the hallway.
Oh, I'm gonna mash the buttons.
Okay, it does! It's literally random! Oh my god! Okay, so this has proved it. Isabella's story checks out. They were busy at 7. It was great having a life model for class. I think I made good progress. He even stayed a little late, which means he couldn't have possibly done it. Literally couldn't have possibly done it. So I'm curious now. What else changes? Sorry, I'm curious now. Like, the only thing that ever changes in these cases is the tiny bit of text at the end of these statements and the passing bys. So I just want to see if there's any more different passing. Oh, god damn, it's so long. Yeah, it was great having a life model for class. Oh, okay. Accusation.
Butler, gather the people. I think it's time we close this case. Very well, madam. The butler runs around gathering up the other suspects in this little mystery. Tonight, someone in this room committed a heinous crime. Someone who thinks they've gotten away with it. Unfortunately for that person, I happened to show up. I've yet to meet a mystery I couldn't solve and a perp I couldn't finger. Isabella snickers behind her hand, and I try not to blush. God, she's quite terrible. And that's why I've brought you all here before the scene of the crime, because it's now quite obvious who the killer is.
Who?
Easy, Rakesh.
Ooh, actually, I did get Max this time. Oh. Okay, so I'm looking at it, and so the spoiler for your walkthrough I have, it literally just says option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. And it says option 6, -5, always. So no matter what, when you accuse Max, you're always going to lose 5. But if you lie to protect Max, it's +5 only if you did it. So that's neat.
I take a look at Max as the other people in the room wait for me. He gives me a smile and a wink. I just take a deep breath. It's not difficult to see. An elaborate party, a bunch of invitations with pre-written messages. A convenient excuse that would seem to put them out of the house at the time of the murder. The murderer is clearly the biggest liar here at the party for liars. The one pulling the wool over our eyes from the very start. The butler. After all, can anyone corroborate where you were when you say you were out for supplies? You probably did leave, only you did it after killing Mr. Body. What? Well, I didn't do anything. Tell it to the cops, chump. The other players immediately begin swarming the butler, asking questions and accusing him. Max makes his way out of the crowd and stands next to me.
You think it's me, don't you?
Well...
Oh, don't get me wrong, you're totally right. But how'd you get me?
You didn't know about the new will. If you had, you never would have gone after him. Some of your reactions sealed the deal.
Well, that's pretty flimsy.
Well, I could have gotten you to confess. I'm a hard-boiled detective, remember?
That you are. Oh, I totally did it, but how'd you do it? I love that stupid shit. Either way, it's nice to see that you got my back when the chips are down.
I'm surprised I did it. I was looking forward to solving the case and being right.
Hey, I know you're right. And I'll spread the word after this, if you want.
Nah, it's enough that you know I figured you out. Let that be a lesson to you.
Oh, I'll definitely remember this.
Finally, the butler frees himself from the crowd. Dusting himself off, he looks at me. I'm sorry, Anne, but you were incorrect. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all for coming out for the Alpha Theta Rho Fraternity's Murder Mystery Evening. If you would like, please feel free to join us for a party proper at our house. Everyone claps loudly for the butler, who takes a bow. People start heading out the door.
Oh boy. God, even with the other chunk of like 17 minutes cut off, this still ended up being like 30-something minutes. This section's huge.
The Latin House roomies gather in the lot. I can't believe how much fun that was. Did you see me in there?
Definitely. Clearly, you need to channel some of that all the time, man.
Oh yeah, you were definitely working it.
She wasn't the only one.
Well, hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Though I can't believe they made me the other woman of some skeezy old businessman.
I mean, well, if the shoe fits.
Watch it, jackass. Everyone laughs as Isabella threatens to bite Max, chasing him around the lot. Ah, that was a lot of fun. To pretend to be someone else for an evening. I suppose that is what Halloween is all about, yes? I suppose that's very true, Rakesh. Nice work. Well, now I'm done pretending to be a sexy office worker. I think it's time to pretend to be a drunken vampire. Who wants to go get some research material?
Here, here.
Are you really just gonna pretend to be drunk? Everyone just stares at Rakesh for a moment before we all head off, laughing, to the frat house.
Whew. That section's always so long. Ah, my throat is like dying. I'm just gonna save these real quick. Whew. Okay. So I'm gonna have to thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And hey, I'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye!